I go to our channel.
I'll post something else on our Facebook page, shall I?
Live stream.
Probably ask you this again.
We're going.
We're live!
We're live.
Hello, YouTubers.
Hello, YouTube.
Slightly different link to what we originally said we were going to be doing.
But yeah, it looks like we could actually be working here.
Should we post that link up on...
That just confused me with playing it back.
Sorry.
Right, I can see we've got Luke and Zane. Right, okay. Probably best do the podcast intro.
Should we do the podcast intro?
Shall we do the podcast right here?
Yeah, let's do that.
Right, let me just get...
Unfortunately,
get
you'll
the
be
videos.
watching this and thinking, where's the intro music? Well, you're going to have to download the podcast.
You're going to have to download the podcast to hear the intro music.
Ding, 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 ding.
Consider this a benefit for everyone that's watched us on YouTube. Hi, and welcome to this week's 4Wheels podcast. It's Paul here with...
Dan, Chris,
Lee.
And...
hey!
Sean Kelly's with us.
We've got Sean Kelly here tonight for a little while. We're live on YouTube.
To be fair, we've already had him here for a little while.
He's already been here for a little while, and we really wish we could tell you some of the things that he said, but we'd probably get sued.
Yeah.
It's all right. We've got fairly lax slander laws on the Isle of... Oh no, we haven't. Have we?
No.
Right, Chris, you wrote a running order earlier, and I've not got a clue where it is because if you look at the screen, you can see there's lots of stuff everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, just to give everybody who's tuning in on YouTube sort of an idea of what's going on, we don't do this scripted. You know, we don't write things. All I do is I write a little page like that. That's literally it, and then I hand that over to Paul like that, usually before the podcast, and then
I take it like this.
He finds somewhere to put it, and then we go podcasting. So, what are we doing then, Paul?
Shall we go podcasting?
Let's go podcasting.
Right. Shall we talk about the Chinese Grand Prix then?
We can have a go.
Who wants to start? Sean, you're the guest. You can go first. What were your opinions on the race as a whole?
Yeah.
I think the DRS was doing what it was meant to do originally, wasn't it? It was helping, but not. It wasn't all of the pass.
Absolutely.
Talking about Vettel and Ricardo, do you think, like, when I was watching it, I was sort of thinking to myself, if the time for Ferraris to drop team orders, it probably wasn't there. Do you think Vettel could have done anything more about Hamilton if they'd have swapped the Ferraris around quicker? Hmm. Jeez.
Whoa, that's a lot. Oh, 800.
Right.
Right. Not 8/10, 800s. Right, got you, sorry. Yeah. Yeah.
Pitting under a virtual safety car.
Yeah. Yeah. It has been 2017 has been quite interesting so far. Well, of course, we're only 2 races in, and it looks like Ferrari are matching Mercedes for race pace, but maybe Mercedes have got a little bit of single lap pace over Ferrari. I was talking to somebody who's not involved with the podcast over the weekend, just another fan of F1, and we were saying about the development race throughout the season. We're getting great racing at the moment on track because everybody's so close. But what about as a development race develops, if you will? I can't see Mercedes losing a development race against anyone, let alone Ferrari. No. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, talking about Honda, I can't quite get my head around whether is that McLaren as bad as people say it is, and Alonso is just doing a super job in it for the last 2 races, or is it better than it was last year? Because sort of what Alonso's doing with it would indicate that, and Stoffel, is he just not? Is he not pulling his end of the bargain and essentially making the car look worse than it is? Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Mm.
No. I am the fastest.
Yeah. No.
Yes, yeah, they have.
Yeah.
No, which is great.
And that's without Fiat finishing this race.
just quietly getting on with
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Yeah.
it.
Absolutely. Just talking, to go back to the Toro Rosso thing as well. I mean, I don't know if our listeners will remember the last time you were on, or any of the new info for new listeners that we've picked up since. But you had a presentation, didn't you, on testing at the end of testing? Is there anything that you picked out in a particular car, or a team from testing that stood out more so than ever before? Because a lot of people seem to look at the Toro Rosso design as being incredibly similar to the Mercedes, aesthetically at least. Livery-wise, everybody seemed to jump straight on the Toro Rosso bandwagon of wow, it looks great. So yeah, was there any team in particular that sort of stood out in testing to you from your presentation that you did? Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Well, one of them does.
Yeah, of course you can't have everything turned up to 11 all the time, because as you say, compromising reliability. But just with the four engine manufacturers that you've got in Formula One, it always seemed to be since the turbo era that Mercedes were always the most powerful, the most strong. It actually seems this time. Whoa! Apologies for that if you heard that.
Okay, that caused problems. I do apologise for that bit of feedback. I'm just trying to fix an audio problem, so...
Fixing an audio problem on the fly.
Yes. The problem is, Sean, I don't think you're actually coming out through YouTube at the minute, so I was trying to see if the feed was coming through properly, and then it decided to deafen me.
Well, we're very sorry if people watching on YouTube don't hear Sean. If you can let us know one way or the other if you can hear him. But we'll carry on, and if you can't, then we'll just have to catch up on this bit.
Just
on,
make it up.
on the
Make
podcast.
up his bit.
Yeah, you can. We have live chat enabled. I
I
can sit in front of me.
What?
That either sounds like really good therapy, or you need really good therapy. It's one of the two.
I think I'm gonna be the one needing therapy at the end of tonight after putting this together. I thought we might be a bit too sort of getting a bit far ahead of ourselves by doing Skype and video launch on the same night, but well, it's kind of working.
Yeah. But you're a strange, like, I've never seen someone be ashen and purple at the same time.
You never went to a goth club, did you?
No.
There you go then.
Yeah. So anyway, back to what we were saying before. Just asking Sean about the actual power. It was always the power units. Mercedes have always been since 2014 the power unit that's been the strongest. The much further down the road than any other of the three power unit suppliers in Formula One, and all of a sudden it seems as though Ferrari might be at least level, if not perhaps power unit wise, a little bit ahead. Would you agree with that? Yeah. They do have a lawnmower division.
This is something I was trying to work out when I was watching the IndyCar last night. Lee, don't judge me.
It's not your fault.
Have Honda got the IndyCar engine right, or is Chevrolet really, really, really bad? That's just a general question.
Sean likes motorsport.
Yeah.
A professional motorsport. He's not going to watch IndyCar. Nope.
Nope.
No, not lucky enough. No.
Right.
That sounds like a fun one.
I was gonna say I've seen the jumping trucks, the stadium trucks that they do in Australia, and that's mental. Like they put ramps in the middle of race circuits. Yeah. Ooh.
Ouch.
Yeah, I've just had confirmation from. Oh, well, I was just going to say, just had confirmation from somebody that Sean isn't coming through on the YouTube.
Yes, I'm still trying to work out
That's
where
fine.
and.
So we'll leave Paul to do that.
Yeah, I'll try not to find any more feedback. And to everyone that's watching on YouTube, yes, I am as stressed as I look.
Yeah.
I've been reading the
Sorry
comments while
about
they've
this,
been coming
guys.
in.
We will try and get it sorted, but yeah.
You'll be
sorry.
able to listen to it properly when the podcast's available for download tomorrow.
Yeah.
There you go, Lee. That's tonight's breaking time.
Oh, great.
Sorry, Sean, I interrupted you there.
Oh, dude, don't forget, you'll still be on the podcast.
It will, yeah.
Yeah, there is still the audio of this going out.
Lee would.
He's now thinking of some.
There's nothing comes to mind. No,
really no.
Amazing. It's the first time I've ever heard Lee speechless about the potential for a joke. So, further... Yeah. Oh dear. Yeah. So, if we go back, if we just take a question for a little bit further down the grid, the newer drivers that have sort of taken to Formula One this year. So Antonio Giovinazzi, we'll call Stoffel Van Dorn new, even though he only did one race last year, and I suppose Esteban Ocon as well, because he only did half a season. Of those, and Lance Stroll as well. Of those, who do you think is looking quite strong and quite maybe not so strong at the moment, Sean? Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah, money didn't make him win. Mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you not expect him to be closer to Alonso though? Mm. Yeah. Yeah. Do you think there's a chance that because you've got Stoffel and Alonso in the same team, if they are behind on loads of stuff, that Alonso might be getting the best version of a Formula One car they can put on the grid? Mm. No, I could see them activating Jensen's option if that was to happen, because they yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
What about the story with Verline and Giovinazzi at the moment? Is there any particular thing you think the mainstream media might have missed on that? Yeah. Yeah, because he was very, very slow.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
No.
not at all.
and realistically, for all we know, sort of making up ideas of why he's not in the car, it could be something, on a personal level. He might be sick, for instance. Then we don't know, and it's nothing like that's been made public yet. I generally do.
Yeah, Lee's our resident tinfoil hat wearer.
We can hear that. Yeah.
Yeah.
People are watching on YouTube won't be able to hear that, but that's fine. They can just wait until.
The whole lot of that's going in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
For the airline as well, considering the support he's had from Mercedes. Last year, for instance, if you were to do a list of Formula One drivers that you thought were best to worst, Ericsson's probably going to be somewhere near the bottom of it. And if he was 3 seconds a lap slower than Ericsson, it's not going to do his reputation any good, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just imagine if he had got the Mercedes drive.
Yeah, who would
You know,
Mercedes
and we
get?
had this situation now in the top team.
I think he's had his helmet all made into trophies because you never see him without one these days.
I did quite enjoy that radio message at the Chinese Grand Prix. Was it Tony Ross, the Mercedes engineer, who called Valtteri Nico by accident? That I did find that quite comedic, actually.
Yeah, that did get a bit awkward, didn't it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Vern. Oh god, because of course they changed his prefix on the screen to VER from VES, because but
it could have been worse. They could have referred to Bottas as Barrichello.
Well, I take it the Mercedes.
Yes.
Oh god, yeah, I suppose so. But yeah, Felipe Nasr and Felipe Massa must have caused a few headaches as well last season for you. I'm sure there was. So, how we get on with that audio thing there?
I don't think it's going to happen, so people are just going to have to listen to everything that Sean says on the podcast that they'll be able to download.
Really sorry, YouTubers, but that's just the way it is.
Yes.
We'll slap it on the Patreon and we'll hide you behind a paywall.
Nice one.
Oh, we're still going to do the Patreon show tonight as well, haven't we?
We have. Normally we would do that before the podcast, but today we've got so much time setting up everything here that
Hampered.
we kind of forgot.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't forget. All I know is cables, because just look at all these and switch camera feeds, all that side as well. Chris, wave your arm about in a game show model kind of style.
It looks a bit like Mad Max when they were building the car.
I would say much more successful.
Yeah. We haven't got a monkey with an Etch-a-Sketch.
Yes, yeah, we have. Yeah, the car's on the track and it's running.
Hang on, where does this cable go?
Don't make me tell you.
I'm not plugging anything else in tonight. Somebody say something. I've been kind of half zoning out and trying to patch things together. And
What's it say on your list, Paul?
I don't know. 'Cause
Paul's
I
got the
don't.
list
I
over
don't.
here.
I don't know what to put the list.
Basically, we're looking at Chinese Grand Prix review. Basically, looking back at the Chinese Grand Prix. Sean, you mentioned before. Yeah. But we've
There is the list.
yeah, we were talking about the Chinese Grand Prix before, and you're saying about there were a lot of proper passes before we digressed into sort of how the season's progressing after two races. Daniel Ricciardo, even though he was unlucky to finish behind Max Verstappen, didn't make the podium. Said he enjoyed that battle he had with Sebastian Vettel. He said he was smiling whilst driving the car when they banged wheels. I think maybe more of a contact sport would be like old school Formula One. That's what the drivers want, isn't it? Yeah.
Driving to a delta all the time.
Mm. Yeah.
Well, last year there was 100 and something, weren't there? If I remember right.
No.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It seems as though most of the passes were not in DRS zones. To me, anyway, it might just be almost certainly was the television edit that we get in the world feed. But it seemed as though most of the overtaking happened into that turn 6, that tight right hairpin, which isn't at the end of a DRS zone. So it was quite refreshing to see passing, organic passing without the use of DRS.
Mm.
It was wonderful, yeah.
Mm. So Formula One's fixed now, but we're back to the situation where it's certain circuits that are the problem rather than the cars. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. More mechanical grip rather than aero, which seems to be the way that it's gone. I'm interested to see how the this sort of era of Formula One with the wider cars as well copes narrower circuits like Monaco, for example. I mean, I know we've had wide. I was going to say I know we've had like wide cars at Monaco before because Monaco's been on the calendar since like the 50s, since day one. So I know the wider cars have been there in the past, but I'm just interested to see sort of how these cars, which are so much faster around the corners, will cope on that narrow street circuit.
Mm.
Yeah.
No.
Make the track narrower. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure the chicane back is going to be a little bit nerve-wracking as well.
Going up past the castle there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, someone's. Sorry. No, someone is causing a safety car there, like at some point. Mm.
Oh. Is Sean still there?
Sean, you still there? You appear to have disappeared. Oh,
Yeah,
yep, you are still here.
I think you cut out just for all of about a second there. No,
No, not at all.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Last thing we need is more buttons.
You're doing well.
Not anything like that bootleg Louis Theroux t-shirt I saw advertised on Facebook last week.
No, I saw that too.
Yes, that was poor. Sean, what do you think? Are we going to see a season-long battle between Lewis and Vettel this year? Because Lewis is saying that he's looking forward to it. Ferrari have obviously got the speed back. Do we think it could actually happen? We could have two teams fighting for championships.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
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 It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think that Mercedes have an Ellison? Because he must have a fair idea of what's going to be coming down the pipeline for Ferrari. Do you think he could be key in the arms race? Mm. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Mm.
I think with Paddy Lowe and the Lance Stroll money coming in, they might be well set up for next year.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah, we will.
We will do.
We'll send an e-card. we won't send a greetings video. We know how these things go. Oh, that could be blogging drinks on Sunday afternoon.
Yes.
Yes, when we're doing the live blog, we may have martinis. Sean, thank you for great insight tonight, as always. And it's always great when you come on the show. We can't thank you enough. Do you want to stick around for a feature that we've got on here called Who's a Total Shunt, which involves great Formula One knowledge, so you might be able to help us out.
It can be, and I shouldn't imagine they're going to lose if you're involved.
Basically, just to give Sean a bit, and any new listeners or new viewers on YouTube, a bit of a...
Lee just knocked the camera.
No, I didn't.
Bit of a sort of foresight thing here.
Yeah, no, I didn't.
Lee gives us, it's like a 20 questions game. Lee gives us clues and we've got to try and guess who he's talking about. Usually somebody Formula One related, but it can be somebody in sort of any discipline of motorsport. Yeah. No. And you corrected me brilliantly. Well, not correcting me as such, but when I asked about the was it the F92A recently on Twitter about it being double chassis, and it was no, it's a double floor one. I was like, yes, that's right. Had the two double floor Ferraris that they had in the early '90s, which, let's be honest, were terrible.
Right, just want to say...
No, not at all.
Just want to say to everyone watching on YouTube, yes, of course you can join in. I'm watching the comments to see if anyone gets any guesses.
Yes, please do join in with the Total Shunt. We've got Sean here. Sean, what's your favourite band, would you say, at the moment? Yeah. Have you not been listening to anyone a lot in particular, or...? Yeah, we'll go with that.
We'll go with that.
I've got a guitar here, and I tend to play the intro to this feature of the podcast with a parody song usually. So we'll do the Who's a Total Shunt intro in the style of T-Rex.
Different to Jay-Z last week.
Jay-Z, because it was our 99th episode, we've got 99 episodes, but Who's a Total Shunt. So yeah. So here we go. I can't make the words work with that, so I'll just go. Who's a total shunt? There we go.
Hey.
That'll do.
No singing. Absolutely. Yeah, that'll do. Just.
I wouldn't mind, but me and Chris used to be in the same band, and we used to have 20th Century Boy in the set. You should be able to do something with that.
I should be able to, but I didn't think about incorporating words. I did it on the fly.
Ah,
so.
fair. That's how we used to do all our gigs.
Yeah, pretty much. Yes, 20th Century Shunt, that's it. So, for everybody watching on YouTube and Sean listening all the way across the other side of the world, Lee, what's the first clue?
I entered the water skiing tournament in the 1997 Jakarta Games and won the silver medal.
Good Lord.
Whoa.
So he won the silver medal in the Jakarta what? Winter Games?
Caveat, I didn't write these questions. This is a listener that's wrote them in, and that's what he's put down, so I have no idea.
Sorry, just repeat the whole clue.
I entered the water skiing tournament in the 1997 Jakarta Games and won the silver medal.
Wow.
Right.
Water
First
skiing,
guessing on
Jakarta,
YouTube is from
not Lisbon.
Bimagoon. My guess is Jack Brabham. I think he's wrong.
In 1997?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so. Sean, any guesses on that, or...? No? That's fine. Dan, anything?
Well, we're probably looking at someone Southeast Asian, aren't we?
Well, not necessarily.
Probably. Just to narrow it down.
No, just me.
Just Paul, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Dusty Bin and all that. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
They've got a good hit record. Also, there's only 6 questions.
Only 6?
Yeah.
Good lord. Right, okay, so what's the second clue then?
I started my racing career in saloon cars in 1992.
Saloon car racer in 1992. So we're looking at maybe somebody, well, saloon cars, what, like a touring car racer, do we think? Or.
Well, no, because touring.
I'm not allowed to clarify
Yeah.
that. That's
It's
what I
it's
say.
it's a driver.
Welcome to the game.
Yeah,
Sean.
welcome
Yeah.
to our world. He got us with Mario last month.
I can tell you, I'm not John Major.
I'm going to buy him a blazer next week.
I am Edward Heath.
Right, so all right, but we're not going to get it from that saloon car driver in 1992. So possibly touring cars were saloons, weren't they back then?
Yes.
Yeah.
Before the hatchbacks. It could be stock cars, yeah.
I competed in 2 seasons of Formula 3 in 1998 and 1999.
So okay.
So, if he got to Formula One, we'd probably be looking at early 2000s.
Mm.
Yeah.
Alex Young, possibly.
Yeah, that was also going to be Sean's guess.
Mm.
Alex Young.
We'll hold off on a definitive guess until we've had all 6
Well,
clues, I think, tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't have to give one now, do we? After 3?
No.
No. We'll hold off on Alex Young for now then. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
well-
Okay, go
well-
on.
I made my Formula 1 debut at the Italian Grand Prix in 2001.
There you go, Sean. It's Alex.
It's Alex Young.
Alex
Do-
Young.
Does that mean I've actually got one for the first time? I said it before John did.
Yeah, you can have it. No, it's not.
No, it's Alex Young. So yeah, there you go. That's where the knowledge.
100 show, it's a landmark. I got one right.
Yes.
Yeah, you only needed a professional sports analyst for Formula 1.
You didn't say we couldn't use cribbing help.
That's where expert knowledge of yours, Sean, really comes into play. I mean, Alex Young is such a. Oh,
Yeah.
oh, yeah.
Yes.
Who's a total Sean? Go on then, yeah, but. Yeah. Yeah.
Or who got a water skiing medal.
Yeah. Pastor Maldonado is he the only Venezuelan? Oh right, okay.
Nico Rosberg. Nico Rosberg's from parts unknown.
Yeah, Nico Rosberg's from all of the countries in the world.
But
Yeah. Okay.
Zolt Baumgartner? Hungarian, I think.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah.
Is
oh,
it?
yes. Yeah.
Has there been another driver from Belgium? Or is Stoffel the first one of them?
No,
There's been look.
Jackie Hicks was Belgian.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we can do.
That's a fine idea.
That is a good idea, so everyone on YouTube can take part. So it's 2 drivers who have raced in Formula 1 that they are the only driver from their country.
As in, you can't choose, Damon Hill because lots of British drivers
So,
have been.
for example, Alex Young was the only Malaysian driver. We've got Zolt Baumgartner, who was the only Hungarian driver.
How many Indonesian drivers have there been?
Rio Haryanto.
Ah,
Well, there you go.
I think New Zealand have only had one driver, haven't they?
New Zealand had a world champion. Denny Hulme was a New Zealander, I believe.
But have there been any others?
I don't know. Chris Amon was New Zealand, wasn't he? Yeah.
yeah.
That was him.
I've heard of him, yeah.
Was Chris Amon New Zealand as well? Yeah. So, so not New Zealand. Who else could it be?
Yeah, I'm struggling here.
There's been more than one Canadian. Yeah, you do that, and then we'll watch Paul reveal it to everyone through the form of audio.
Yeah, just waiting for Sean to type. Right. So, who else have we possibly got?
Think of. Oh, hang on a second. Just before you type it out, have we had any other drivers from South Africa other than your world champion man?
Other than Jody Scheckter?
Yes. Oh, really? Right. Okay.
Yeah, of course, that was the days of the Just Enter Your Home Grand Prix.
Right. Okay. Now there you go. You learn something new every day. So if you typed out that answer there, Sean, is it on the YouTube chat? Oh, right, okay. Oh, right, okay, fine. So we're still looking. I'm thinking more countries than drivers at the moment because I can't think of.
South America's got to be a good one.
Somebody's come up with Robert Kubica,
Poland.
Poland.
Ah, there you go.
Good work.
Who was that? That was Daniel Gustafsson.
Daniel Gustafsson,
Well done,
long
Daniel.
time listener,
Good name.
Daniel. Congratulations, Daniel, you got that.
Oh, hang on, can you do the thumbs up again? I was on the wrong camera.
Wrong camera, try that again. There you go, thumbs up for Daniel Gustafson.
And then thumbs up from me and Lee on the other camera. I'm getting used to this pressing buttons, like.
A camera editing live,
Yeah.
You're enjoying that. Excellent. Well, I enjoyed that, Sean. That was a good little feature of the.
I don't think we've got them all yet.
Oh right. I thought that was the other answer you were looking
No,
for.
apparently there's more. Oh, we mentioned two.
Oh, I see. I'm sorry, I misunderstood completely.
Yeah, Barnaby and Jeff on YouTube chat have said Karun Chandok, but they've forgotten Narain Carter Kayan.
Yeah.
Most people have forgotten Rain Carter Kane.
That is true. Let me think, where else?
Yes,
Yes, please.
'cause we're stuck. Chile, Liechtenstein. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. No, I can't. I don't think I can think of any Chilean drivers instantly. But of course, if there was only one, it might not be that obvious. And Licht.
Yeah.
Yes. I need to find that video on YouTube.
I've seen that video.
No, I can't think.
Oh, of course. Yes.
YouTubers win. YouTubers are better. Well, they've got Google. We're not Googling.
Surely, is Pastor Maldonado the only one from Venezuela?
No. We've done this,
Have
Lee.
we?
Yes.
Damn it.
Yes. Pastor Maldonado. Yes.
Ah.
Yeah.
Who-
I've been-
Who
I've
was
been
the
everywhere I'm
driver from Liechtenstein? People were playing Pointless earlier, weren't they?
Yeah,
We've already
yeah, I
discussed
had.
this tonight.
Yeah, some of my friends were sending in screen grabs from tonight's Pointless because there was an American football question on, and it made me laugh that the LA as were Raiders was a pointless answer, which I always said they were all along.
Well, there you go.
Oh, the Las Vegas Raiders, as they will soon be. That's the ones.
Yeah.
Thailand, you said was the other one, didn't you? Oh,
Morocco.
Morocco. God.
No, I wouldn't have gotten Ricky Von Opel.
Yeah, I think we might have to use a lifeline for the Moroccan.
Yeah.
I think I've realised why I don't know the answers.
Well, like
Oh,
a pauper,
sounds-
yeah. It sounds it, yeah. Why
It also sounds a little bit like the porn I was googling.
no. Right.
I don't know, but that's scary because I think I was in Hammersmith on Christmas Eve 1985 going to see Status Quo and I got the tube there.
Well, there you go. You probably passed him. So
And if you had spared some change,
That's Lee-like.
You're a murderer.
no, it's not ringing any bells with me at all.
No.
That with a Thai Formula One driver.
No.
Yeah. What kind of era are we talking about here, Sean? The earliest era of racing. Yeah. No, I'm. Yeah, no, I have to hold my hands up. I
I
am
have no
stuck.
idea.
Yeah, well, I'm not the stat man.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
so. We
I
all-
think we're giving up.
I just want to go watch some porn.
Go on. I did not know he was Thai. Had no idea. Yeah. Yeah. Died as a pauper.
That's crazy. Is there a story of how he lost his money?
And it was Christmas Eve 1986, I was in Hammersmith. I'm safe.
Excellent. Yeah, that's good. What's Sebastian called his car this year? Is it Gina?
Gina, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
the
less
Tygar's got
classical.
better.
Yeah. Rather than what was it, Kate's dirty sister?
I still think that was the best of his car names that he's had.
Yeah. Was it? I think that was a world championship winner as well, wasn't it? You probably could. Sean wins that game by a long,
Yes.
long,
Yeah.
long, long way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the fans against the actual professional, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let's be honest. Yeah, be like putting it. Yeah. 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 Let- Yeah. Yeah. That's wonderful. That is wonderful. Have you ever thought would it be unfair to go on Mastermind, Sean? With your specialist subject. Oh, you did. Oh no. Yeah.
Because it was actually your specialist subject.
Yeah.
Now, the only problem with that is if you get through to the second round, you've got to pick another specialised subject. You can't do the same one all the way through.
Ah, Soul was it?
That's all right.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. But you are.
The only other gold medal winner I could tell you from that was Matty Newkinen, and that's just because I watched the Eddie the Eagle movie the other night. And that was one of the bits in it that was true.
We digress slightly.
We always do, that's what
yeah.
this podcast's about.
It is, yes.
It says Formula 1 on the front, and by the back end of it, nothing's there.
What's the Formula 1 podcast on the front of the t-shirts that the YouTubers can see right now?
And they will be available for sale soon.
Yes, they will.
That's one of my smooth segues again.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us, Sean. I know you've got a lot on. You were telling us earlier before we went live, or when we were trying to go live. So we really appreciate it. Really appreciate you for taking the time out of your day today, and just hope you'll come on again at some point soon. And the YouTubers should be able to hear you the next time.
Yeah. I don't know. I think if we've still got viewers now after the troubles we've had, they're not going anywhere. Their life is...
There's people hanging on in there. They're still commenting.
Good.
We haven't upset people too
That's
much.
brilliant. That's
Although Lee, you
devotion.
Oh, hang on. There's one on it. Paul's mum. Oh, right. Okay.
Given what Paul was doing before when he was trying to fix the sound, they probably waited on and thought it was Aphex Twin.
Lee, you have upset a YouTuber actually. Who
Ah.
sent in the total shunt questions this week?
I didn't get a chance to say because we moved on.
Oh, one of the YouTubers I'm going to guess has been on and saying, excuse
It
me,
was
they were
Luke
mine.
again. At Lucky Boy.
It was Luke again.
That's Luke's second one.
Yeah. Well,
Thanks,
I
Luke.
picked his because I had a different one up, which I'll use next week now. But I picked his because I thought it was slightly harder, and I think Sean would have got the other one in the first question. So you will probably fail next week. No, I had a different one lined up, but I changed it to
Alex
that
Sean.
one because I thought it was slightly more difficult. I can't say that because I'm going to use it next week.
No, somebody else.
I want to see if Sean can get it on the first question.
First question.
So are we going to do
Yeah,
two?
go on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another total shunt. It's 100th episode. Let's have 2 total shunts.
Rock and roll. Let's have a pair.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alan Partridge quote.
It is.
I began my... Oh, no, you won't get it on the first question, sorry. I began my motor racing career at the age of 19.
Yeah, that doesn't narrow it down a whole lot.
That's quite late.
Do you want the second clue?
Do you want the second clue?
Chris, get the guitar out. Incidental music.
Oh.
If I had to guess, I'd go with Damon Hill.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it could be.
Mm.
Go on, Lee. Is Sean anywhere near close with those first 2 guesses?
No.
I'll play some incidental music while Sean thinks.
Are you sure you wouldn't want the second clue? To be honest.
Fair enough. No.
I have competed in the Le Mans 24 Hours twice with the best finish of second. I hope these clues are right. No, it's not.
Third clue. Yeah.
I have 19 podiums and 12 wins in Formula 1.
19 podiums and 12 wins. Now there's a stat for the stat
Yeah.
man. David Coulthard's got 13, has he not? I think 13 wins.
But he would have had a whole lot more podiums, wouldn't he?
Yeah, probably.
And he also started a lot earlier than 19s. I've been to the David Coulthard Museum and there were some very small carts in there.
Yeah. 19 podiums.
Yeah.
Must be somebody from a very dominant year in Formula 1, perhaps.
Mm. I'm pretty sure you'll get it with the next one.
Go for it. Hang on, Sean doesn't want it yet. Sean
No.
doesn't want this last. Oh, hang on, I put the guitar down.
Just whistle.
It was invented for me doing a little dance
Oh,
whilst I
Mrs.
whistle.
Cat.
Whilst I waited for Sean to
That was on the wrong camera, so people got to see me typing.
That's what we want them to think.
Sean, if you don't hurry up and get the question right, no one's going to be interested in your data.
Oh!
I took pole in my F1 debut. I'm Mario Andretti.
Very, very good. Very good. Wow, that's amazing. Mario Andretti only had 7 other podiums that weren't wins.
That was...
Yeah. Did Jack Villeneuve take pole on his debut as well? Yeah. Yeah. Mm. It's great.
And I want to thank Eric Roth for those questions. He sent them into Lee.
Who's just taught the stat man something, so he's going to be happy about that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Teach the stat man. Yeah, well, there you go. There you go. Next time you see Mario Andretti, you can tell him. Yeah. Yeah. you can now listen here, Mr. Andretti.
Eric Roth knows more about you than I do.
That's pretty cool. That is cool. Very cool indeed.
That is exceptional. I am looking at the list, and we have the Formula Lee things to do, which I haven't sent round again. Just to explain for anyone new on this, it's the weekly or fortnightly or every race challenge on the PS4, the Xbox One or the PC. Lee sets a challenge of the circuit where the next Grand Prix is going to be and the car and the conditions. You can set it up yourself, and basically we do the top 10 times and we run a competition all the way through the season.
Yeah.
Prizes to be announced. Decent times this week. You had to get under 1:38.6 to make the top 10. We've got a little challenge running between the four of us, and Chris won this week. Lee got defeated.
Ooh. So what was it? 138.6 to make the top 10.
136.6.
Sorry, 136.6.
Yeah.
Top 10.
So the top 10. I'll just give the names out, not the times, because the times will be going up on the website.
There's people playing PlayStation are actually being faster than the cars were last year. Must have been.
Yeah. The winning time, I'll get to that in a second, but 10th we have Freddie Brunner, 9th James Holman, a natural racing driver, Finn Wilson was 8th, Dave the Flying Flynn 7th, Luke, who set the first total shunt question tonight, he was in 6th, Pete Bull 5th, Adam Neal 4th, Jeff Sharp, last week's winner, was 3rd, James Penny 2nd, and winning with a time of 1:35.494 for a lap was Bradley Chambers.
Well, congratulations, Bradley, but that's a crazy time.
So impressive. I'll get the list of times up on the website for those watching on YouTube tomorrow. For those listening to the podcast, I've done it already. It's going to get confusing. That's it for Formula League this week. You've got to set a challenge for the next one quickly.
Because it made me sad because Flood beat me.
Oh dear.
Bahrain, night time or evening.
Evening.
In a Red Bull, in the rain.
Oh.
Bahrain in the rain?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rains
Okay.
all the time in Bahrain.
It doesn't.
mainly on the plane.
I think you think of Spain.
Yeah, Spain did a couple of races time. I think that's probably about it for tonight. Would you say?
Do you want to go through the Chinese Grand Prix quickly, or
I think have we talked about it quite a bit?
We've
or-
kind of covered
We
China.
kind of covered China.
We've got Bahrain coming up.
We've got Bahrain coming up. We need to preview that.
it's a back-to-back?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is me not thinking properly because I've spent all night plugging cables in and unplugging
Well, there
cables
you
and deafening people with feedback. So yeah, Bahrain this week. Where do we think the battle's going to go between Mercedes and Ferrari?
I don't know.
Who has the better car for the circuit?
Conditions. Yeah. Help, Sean.
Sean, what do you think?
One of the greatest
Yeah.
battles of all time. I
If,
think
if
in
we can
Formula
have
One
that
history.
between two drivers and two different teams, it'd be amazing.
Yeah, we'd be laughing all the way to the end of the season. Be able to use that battle as we did in 2014 between Rosberg and Hamilton. Just everybody spoke about it right up until the end, until the championship was over.
Yeah.
But like Lee says, two different drivers in two different cars probably carry that a lot further.
Yeah. Do we think we'll be seeing Pascal back in the Sauber or?
Not in Bahrain, I don't think.
Because he said he was hoping to do it, but you don't think? Because I'm the same. I think Russia at the earliest.
Yeah, I would say.
No.
Yeah, I mean, it's not to go over old ground again, but I mean, he's talking about not being fit enough to be in the car. I mean, 1 week of fitness, I don't think is going to make all of the difference. If you're too unfit to drive an F1 car, as you say, one Sunday, you're not suddenly going to be fit enough to drive it the following week.
Especially somewhere that's going to be a lot hotter.
Yeah, and I wonder if we're even going to see him before Spain. To be quite honest with you, I think Giovinazzi could sit in for quite a few races to come yet. Yeah.
Do you think it's more likely that they plug him into the car after the summer break? I mean, I don't know what the contract situation would be, obviously, but surely it wouldn't like Sauber might have had the upper hand with Mercedes when it came to a contract for him because they really didn't have anywhere else to put him. Yeah, and at the time the Sauber was there, it was a case of getting him in a car. Is it possible it could give them more flexibility to do what they want? Yeah. Mm.
Especially when it comes to Sauber. Yeah, I mean, and Sauber with their contracts, what was it? 4 drivers turned up for 2 seats, or 3 drivers turned up for 2 seats, and but they signed 4 drivers at the start of the 2015 season, was it? 2015, 2014. And then they have
Van der Gaard gate.
Yeah, well, it wasn't much of a gate, was it?
I just thought then Kvyat probably. Sorry.
Very good.
Somebody noticed. One of my puns got through at last. Again, I've been waiting 100 shows for this. It had to happen at some point. Sean, you're doing me proud tonight.
Just thought then maybe Kvyat was happy going into the Toro Rosso garage because he knew it like one more step down he'd have been on a snowboard.
Yeah, or riding a bicycle down a ski ramp on fire. Red Bull Extreme Sports.
Yeah. Mm. Mm. I think it shows. It maybe not benefited him, but when you look at the turnaround he's had to do from where he was sort of psychologically, when you saw him in interviews and stuff like that after the demotion,
he was broken then.
He's done really well just to pull himself out of that.
And now we're seeing him setting the fastest lap in Australia.
Yeah.
And
Trying to, yeah.
Well, no, he set it, and then someone else set a faster one.
Well, yeah, I think he might have done actually. Yeah. Yeah.
It does to me.
I gotta say though, I quite enjoyed that. I don't know about you, Sean. I quite enjoyed that the radio feed we had at the end of the Australian Grand Prix when Danny Kvyat was asking what the fastest lap was and can I try and beat it, and then you had Kimi Raikkonen just going down there, not asking as such. And who else was that? Was it Vettel? Did Vettel ask what the fastest lap was?
There was definitely a fair few of them who were.
Yeah, there's a fair few of them who sort of took on this fastest lap battle, and all in cars that you wouldn't normally expect to get a fastest lap. And it was great to see that battle just towards the end of the race. It doesn't mean much because you don't get points for fastest lap, of course, but I enjoyed that. It made. Yeah, which is crazy. That's 2005 was 17 race season. I think 17 or 18. Possibly. I don't think it was 19. I think it was 18, 17 or 18. But anyway, that's not important right now.
Not as many as it is now. We know that.
Oh, you win again.
What do we think McLaren are going to do this week? Because Alonso seems to be enjoying racing in the car and pulling things out of it.
Like bits of metal that are broken.
Well, apart from that,
When
but
the fuel pump breaks down on Stoffel's car and then the drive shaft breaks on his car.
Fernando seems to just be remarkably upbeat, even though the car's hopeless.
I think he's making himself look remarkably employable.
I think that's not too far from what Fernando might be doing as well. Somebody else hire me, please. I'm really good. I'm still employable. I'm still fast. I can make this McLaren nearly get into the points before it breaks down. Somebody please hire me.
I don't think he'll do as well this week as he did in China in the rain.
I think the rain was a bit of an equaliser for McLaren. Well, the conditions at least, just to start with. But yeah, in a drier, like Sean was saying before, scientific sort of conditions in Bahrain, I think we'll probably see. Well, it's normal conditions, like Fernando said in Australia. McLaren will probably be last and second to last.
Mm.
Yep.
Mm.
Yeah. Which would be interesting to keep an eye on as well.
I suppose even saying that, he really needs to then. You know, if he, with him knowing the circuit, he really definitely needs to be closer, doesn't he? Or it might start looking quite bad for him. Hmm.
Yeah, and one definitely, as I say, to keep a very close eye on over the weekend.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing if Williams can bounce back as well, because Massa didn't obviously have the best of times, and we didn't really get to see what Stroll could do this last race again. But I think without anyone running into the pair of them, we might see. But I'm predicting we could see both Williams pushing for points.
Possibly. I think. Well, I know Lance Stroll was extremely unlucky in China. The retirement wasn't his fault.
No.
But you know, it's these things happen. It'd be nice to see when he does a full distance, if he can keep it. Keep to the car's performance. Felipe Massa seemed to go backwards in China as well. I think he started inside. Did he start inside the top 10? I think
He did, yeah.
And then he just sort of slowly fell backwards into the clutches of the Renaults and the Hasses and everything else around him. So yeah, I mean, Williams could. Well, there you go. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, he started well inside the top 10 then.
Yeah.
Starting 6th, and he just, I don't know what happened to him, but he didn't seem to find the pace, whether he got caught out by the virtual safety car or the safety car itself. But yeah, just, I think he finished second to last in the end.
Did he?
I think so.
Jesus.
Yeah, it was. It was just, and we didn't see him. We've not seen a great deal of him on TV this season. He is this year's Sauber.
Anonymous Massa.
Yeah, Anonymous Massa.
Anonymous Massa. Yeah. Yeah, we Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I mean, we always make a joke about Sauber being completely anonymous because you never see them on TV unless they're being lapped. Not because they don't appear to do anything. Or, in the case of this weekend, just gone when Giovinazzi smashes it into a wall spectacularly. Yeah. Good God. Yeah. Yeah.
That makes it sound like you're sweeping it up at the minute.
Who's got to put all the barge boards up and make sure that the Armco barrier is in the right places?
It's been great having you on, Sean. Thank you very much.
It has, and hopefully we'll talk to you again soon. And you too.
Massively
Thanks a
insightful
lot.
again, Sean.
Thanks a
Thank
lot,
you.
Sean. Cheers. Bye-bye.
Bye.
But we continue.
We will continue, yeah. So we've gone through McLaren and Williams. Who else is
So happy to take these off.
I know, yeah.
Yeah, I've got to admit, wearing headphones for 2 hours at a stretch, it does hurt.
Oh no, I can hear
It doesn't
you.
hurt, it's just warm. Lee's giving up and putting his back on. So,
I've turned the headphone channel down now, no need to worry.
so, YouTubers, there's now no hidden audio. Everything you can hear is basically us now talking in the room.
Yes.
So we're just going to stop for a while so that don't get too confused by that.
Yeah.
So all those minutes that you of silence where we might have said
And then we'll laugh randomly.
Yeah, you'll get to hear this on the podcast. I'm going to move the camera away because I just caught myself straightening my hair out on the screen.
Because you're worth it.
Yeah. Oh dear, that's better.
Paul?
Oh, thank you.
we've got pod brush and everything. It's incredible.
Yeah, so sorry about all the
Can't take them on
technical
the spot.
issues. It's we like Paul's basically sat now.
Right,
so
I'm taking all the recording gear home with me.
Dan's recording you.
No, right, I'm taking all the video gear home with. Oh, that's not a great loss, is it?
Thanks for being patient and waiting for through all those silences and stuff. But now it's us four in the room as we would normally podcast. Except Dan sat a lot closer to me than normal, just for you guys on the camera.
And we've got clothes on.
And we've got clothes on. These clothes. And
From the waist up, at least.
yeah. So yeah, well, let's get back to previewing Bahrain.
Yeah, getting back to that. Where do we go from Williams? Toro Rosso, obviously, we touched on briefly with Sean, but I want to see more from Sainz. He got the tyre call wrong in China.
Aye.
I
But
disagree.
he risked it a bit much starting on the slicks.
He did, but I think, despite the fact when you saw the replay of his start and he was wheel spinning,
It was comedy.
Yeah.
it was comedy. But I think he would have backed out of that first corner anyway. I'm on slicks. What's the point of me trying to break into this first corner when it's still a little bit too wet?
And it did
But
come
all I
back
want to do
it.
is stay with the others and wait for them to make pit
Yeah.
stops.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And it did come back to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It didn't, and he finished 7th. And at some point during the race, we were talking about any one of those top 6 drivers winning it. So we're talking, Hamilton, Vettel, the 2 Red Bulls, Raikkonen, and whoever it was that finished.
It's a shame he had the spin actually, because if he hadn't had the spin, it would have come like Baccarat to him.
Yeah.
Yes.
Even more Baccarat.
Yeah.
Isn't that the card game where you got to get 9 and somebody else hasn't?
I think they do Formula 1 race there now as well.
Oh, right, okay.
No, but I mean, Sainz was, if I remember correctly, Sainz was incredibly quick at last year's Bahrain Grand Prix. So much so that he was hassling the Red Bulls.
Yeah, I think you're right there.
And I would love to see that again, especially if the Toro Rosso is as strong as we think it is. I want to see the drivers having a little bit of an inter-team battle, even though, as we said before, there are 4 Red Bull cars. So I'd love to see Sainz mixing it with them. And Kvyat, again, don't count him out. He's definitely not out of it, but he could do with a spectacular race, as in, hanging on-
Spectacular finishing race, not do something spectacular during the race.
Correct, yeah.
Haas. Now, they've got points on the board.
Mm-hmm.
That's the big pressure goal from this season.
With K-Mag as well,
I know,
surprisingly.
And yeah.
K-Mag actually performed quite well, so we've had a little bit of a stick for not sticking up for Scandinavian drivers. And it was last week we said, well, let them prove it to us.
Yeah.
And it's exactly what K-Mag has done. He came out of the box.
He was a special K.
It was a special K-Mag. And
You've got to wait another 100 shows for one of yours to work.
that was his. It was his.
I only heard the repeat, I didn't hear it the first
well,
time.
there you go.
Yeah.
Plug stuff in.
Knock things
No,
over.
I'm not editing. No. I go to bed now.
But yeah,
No, we've got a Patreon podcast.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, we. Well, Haas, I think I want to see them doing. I want to see everybody do a bit better, scoring points. I don't know what happened to Romain Grosjean during the race. I did see him making quite a good overtake on Felipe Massa, but
That was about it.
yeah, I don't know if he had any problems in it at any point or just.
To be honest, there was so much going on up the front that I can't remember.
I think he had
what happened at the
several
back.
pit stops. Did he have a puncture?
Oh, he did have a puncture, yes. Well,
Yes,
remember, yeah.
yes, there was a puncture in there somewhere,
Yeah.
wasn't there?
Yeah, for Romain Grosjean, which might have ruined his race. Almost definitely did. So yeah, Haas, difficult to say where they're going to be in Bahrain.
Could be threatening points.
Should be threatening points, really. Along with the Force Indians, are they up next? Force
They
India?
are up next, yes.
Yeah, Force India. Great to see Ocon sort of hanging on Perez's tail. I said last week I wanted to see a little bit more from Esteban Ocon, and he was sort of in and about with Sergio Perez. Although he did lose out in the on-track battle with him.
No, Ocon has been pretty impressive for me in the 2 races this season. Just is effectively a rookie. He's come from crawling around the back in a manner for half a season, not even getting to start last season, and moved up to a mid-grid team. And he's showing that he's worth his position there.
Yeah, definitely.
And he's doing his job.
Yeah.
And this. After all the fuss about Verlaine's the next big thing. Oh, it's going to be Stoffel. Like I keep saying,
Could be Esteban Ocon.
just watch out for Ocon, just because he's quietly getting on with it and proving that he's got the ability.
Yeah.
The Force India performs better than it looks, shall we say?
Performs better than it looks. We know they've got slight problems with the weight of their car.
And the aero, it's not performing in real life like the simulations say it should.
Well, that's going to cause them issues as well, especially with that 3-pronged flange front thing that they've got going on.
We took the Twitter poll and it has been decided it is called the Vijay JM10.
The Vijay JM10.
Yes.
That's what we're calling it then.
Yeah, the internet has spoken. Red Bull. Must try harder.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've seen a lot of people saying that Red Bull were in among it in China, and they
They were helped by the rain.
were helped by the rain, but they also finished 40 seconds down on the race leader, and I think Max was only 30 seconds down in Australia, so
Yeah.
the gap is still there. And on single lap pace, I think they're still I think they're a full second slower than Ferrari per lap on single lap pace. So I mean that's per lap on single lap pace sounds stupid, I know, but
Every time they do a single lap, they're
Yeah.
a second down on Ferrari.
yeah, well, in qualifying runs.
Yeah.
But that's still putting them sort of 5th and 6th at the moment.
It's not where they want to be.
Best of the rest at the moment, but
Yeah.
if they are going to make it a 3-way fight, they need to dramatically close that race pace gap.
There's a big step that they need to make for that.
Yeah.
We did get a comment on Twitter from Jana, who I know is watching tonight. I've seen her pop up on the comments.
Hello, Johnny.
Is this a season where Danny Rick gets weathered?
I think we're actually going to see it. I think Lee's already alluded to it a couple of times this year. I think we're going to see a lot of teams 1-2ing their drivers. I think what we're going to see.
Have to.
Yeah, and I think Red Bull might have to do that as well. And I wouldn't say straight away that Max is gonna outperform Danny Rick. It's not that clear cut at the moment. Danny Rick had poor luck in Australia, and he could well have beaten Max in China, but for a couple of tenths.
He was more on it.
At the end of the race,
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah.
But I think what Danny Rick needs to do is make sure he doesn't Webber himself.
Make sure that he's always in positions where he's second.
Make
to
sure
Max.
that he's on it, he's pushing hard, and he's not pushing too hard.
Well, like I said, he seemed to put an awful lot of undue pressure on himself from day one this season. Whenever he was asked about what was going on within the team, it was Verstappen's young, he's got many years ahead, this is my time, this sort of thing. And you just wonder whether that's part of the issue.
It can't be easy having someone as hyped as Max Verstappen as your teammate.
No, but on the other hand, when the other guy's hyped, then in a way the pressure's not on you.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It depends if you
It depends
If
whether
you-
you buy into the hype.
if you buy into the
into
hype
it.
and you think if you're Danny Rick
Yeah.
and you think, no, I'm better than Max Verstappen.
Yeah.
You need to prove it
Yeah.
to yourself, if no one else.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Danny Rick's going to get weathered. Not yet. It's up to Danny Rick to do that, though.
I think what could help him is Red Bull not being in like contention, because if they're not in contention for wins and championships, then there's literally no point in number 1 and 2 and the
Yeah.
drivers and upsetting the team.
Yeah, but what I was going to say before was if they do make it a three-way fight and they do join
Then, yeah.
Ferrari and Mercedes around Spain, maybe a bit later
Then
on
they're going to have
mid-season,
to, yeah.
then in order to take race wins away from Ferrari and Mercedes, they might have to 1-2 their drivers, and that's the decision we'll see later in the season. But not. I don't see any cause to do it for right now for Red Bull.
No. We didn't actually mention Renault. Well,
Because they were another team who just faded away during the Chinese Grand Prix.
Julian Palmer has inherited Jenson Button look.
He has, and Nico Hulkenberg appears to have inherited the pace of somebody who does a good impression of a Formula One driver.
A spade squirrel.
Yeah, I mean it's probably not Nico Hulkenberg's fault because Julian is
He
struggling
did well
with
in
pace as well.
qualifying. His qualifying was great.
Yeah, but his was he 11th in qualifying?
Yeah, and to be perfectly honest, it says more about his race than it does Palmer, because Palmer had loads of issues and he ended up just ahead of him.
Mm.
You know, and he started well down the road and he didn't have the issues that Palmer had had.
true.
Yeah, they just need to sort their car out, sort out reliability issues more than anything, and Renault. I think I said just before the podcast, Renault could win this development race, and Sean said it as well. Renault could be the team that develops quicker than anyone else during the course of the season.
Anything with it, I suppose the thing for Renault as well is there's less pressure on them where they are, because it's a consolidation year for them this year. You know, getting Renault as a works team back together.
Yeah,
So anything that comes out of this year is a bonus for them.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. It's their debut year.
Yeah.
We've had a live question from YouTube relating to what we're talking about.
Good. Who's it from?
It's from Niall Slim Drew.
Hi.
Lee's
Hi,
favourite.
Niall.
Lee's
person.
favourite lump of words.
Yeah.
Uh,
His
Niall.
favourite sentence.
Yeah, Niall says a question. Are Mercedes underdeveloped this season or are Ferrari overdeveloped, if that makes sense? Merc were always 2 steps ahead and now they're level with Ferrari. Have Ferrari caught up or have Merc slipped back?
I think Ferrari have caught up and caught Mercedes napping.
Yeah, I wouldn't say Mercedes have been complacent though. I would say that
I think they might be. I think they've got a car that's developed to be leading the race by 10 seconds.
Don't forget they were also the other team which had their suspension
yeah, Mercedes have
legalised.
Yeah, so I mean that could have played a very big part in it. But I think that, as Dan said, Mercedes have got a car, perhaps arrogantly, that if it leads into turn 1 is good at winning races. And Ferrari built a car that's good at racing in general.
And at being there in turn 1.
And at being there in turn 1 and at following cars relatively closely and being able to capitalise when Mercedes do make a mistake.
Must admit, when Ferrari, for being so off the pace, to turn up with a car which could possibly win the championship makes me awfully suspicious.
One thing you've got to bear in mind with Ferrari though, are we seeing the benefits now of what Marchione was doing last season? And have his changes worked?
Well, we berated Marchione for his micromanagement, didn't we?
Yeah.
And Arriva Bene for his multiple sackings and trying to restructure. We're like, well, restructuring might not be the answer. Turns out we were wrong. Restructuring is the answer. And the Canadian in charge of one of the world's largest automobile groups actually knows what he's doing.
Or-
Who would have thought? Who would have thought?
Tinfoil hat time, complete tinfoil hat. We've been talking about how Mercedes
It's
might be
burning.
benefiting from having James Allison going from Ferrari. What if Ferrari have said, James, got a special mission for you, mate?
Special Agent Allison.
Yeah.
It's...
I don't have a heart, I have a galloping horse in my chest, and he's just in there as a mole.
Absolutely.
They're giving him an Italian blood transfusion. His bloodstream is now 10% olive oil.
So is mine with the amount of wrong food I've been eating lately. Let's look at the top 2 together then. Mercedes, one good driver, one not so good driver at the moment, and Ferrari, one good driver, one not so good driver at the
What
moment.
were you saying something about Kimi being pulled up on form?
Yeah, apparently Ferrari want a word with him.
Yeah, this has come from Marchione, apparently.
Yeah.
They want to talk to Kimi about why he's not been brilliant in the first 2 races.
Problems with his car, for a start.
Yeah.
Understeer in Australia, and lack of power in China.
And they
That is part of it.
Biff and
but
Dave choose the strategies again.
Well, they biffed him in China completely.
Yeah, absolutely.
But he's not on it either.
No, he's not on it, but I wouldn't say he's dialing it in. You know, he's not like
He's not sat in the garage having an ice cream when he should be putting testing laps in.
No, he's not 40, 50 seconds back from his teammate, is he? He's like, he was fighting with his teammate for a lot of the race during China.
I think the thing is, he's with Bottas, isn't he? Whereas Vettel's up there with Hamilton.
Yeah.
And realistically, if they're having a word with Raikkonen, thank you. I'm pretty sure Mercedes are having a very similar conversation with Bottas.
I don't know about that. Bottas did okay in his first race.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't.
He's
miles.
been pipped in qualifying now by Sebastian twice.
I think we had a listener say that I can't remember who it is, so apologies for that. But Mercedes needed Bottas to step up to get a Mercedes lock out the front row, and even though it was a thousandth of a second in qualifying, he didn't make that step.
Yeah, it was actually Seb that just managed to beat the time Bottas had already crossed the line, but
But was he 3/10 down on Lewis?
yeah.
So
he's Ferrari pace, whereas Lewis is Mercedes pace.
But that's it. Mercedes could be that pace. Lewis could just be doing the pace of the car for all we know. It might not be that extra special lap that Lewis can do that's doing it.
Hammer time.
Yeah, and if Nico is still in the car, they'd be locking the front first and second row out, which would help them control the race immeasurably.
But then it wasn't unknown to see Nico be 3/10 behind Lewis.
It just was Ferrari were just not that close as they are now. Vettel and Hamilton are probably two of the fastest drivers on the grid. Truth be told.
At the moment, the two.
Yeah, and they are in the 2 best cars, so it stands to reason that those 2 will be out front.
Yeah.
Regardless of who they're, unless you're going to have Fernando Alonso as one of their teammates, those 2 should be in the best cars fighting out front, and they are. But it's, as we said before with Sean on the show, it's really refreshing to see that they're in different cars and fighting with each other. It's going to come down to which track suits which car and driver errors, basically. But I don't think Mercedes are going to be too worried about Bottas at the moment. If you think about where Hamilton was this time last year, after Australia, I think he had a DNF in Australia.
Yeah.
And then I think Bahrain was the next race in 2016.
Yeah.
I think he got, was it 3rd? Something like that.
He
And then he got
needs to
7th.
sort it, because if Raikkonen sorts it first and he doesn't,
Yeah.
they're going to be hemorrhaging championship points.
Absolutely, and Ferrari could win the Constructors' Championship, which would be disaster for
And that's
Mercedes.
what they want.
Exactly. And
Sorry, just a quick YouTube comment. Jana again. I think I just had an aneurysm because it sounded suspiciously like Lee said something about Nico which didn't involve the word cunt.
that is true. That happened. That actually happened.
I'll have to listen back.
I'm liking this live interactive stuff.
It's good. It works so much better when we can interact with the people who listen to us.
And if we don't have Skype calls, I think we should do this every week.
Yeah, I think that'd be nice.
We probably should.
Yeah.
For a portion, if not the whole thing.
Yeah.
And we might even sort it so it doesn't look like we're fucking building some sort of time machine.
Yeah, all these cables do look a little bit like we're preparing to source electric from Alaska.
I thought we were.
I daren't see what my electric box is doing.
Just don't look at it, Lee. It's fine. Don't look at it. But yeah, sorry, I've lost where we were. Bottas and Raikkonen.
Yes.
Yeah, you're right. If Raikkonen sorts things out first,
then
they might be on to Bottas. But in relation to where Bottas is now to where Hamilton was this time last year, it's not a problem. It's easily pullbackable.
Oh yeah,
Except Hamilton was a proven driver
Well, Bottas
Bottas.
is, but he's just...
No,
Yes,
Bottas
no,
is
not with
a proven
Mercedes.
driver. He's not with a Formula 1 car yet, in my eyes.
Yeah, he's been up against Massa for a long time,
Yeah.
and not Massa at his best.
No, he's anywhere between Hakkinen and Kovalainen at the minute. Yeah,
Also, two Finnish drivers.
yeah. Wasn't an accident.
Ta-da!
Speaking of finish, should we finish for the... Oh,
Oh.
God, I just punched YouTube.
You've been wanting to do that for years.
I only want to see comment sections.
Our comments are good.
Yeah, we like our own comment section.
This is the first interaction I've had
So,
with YouTube
should we
without
do-
the world being flat on it.
Should we do predictions, heroes and villains?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Somebody else go first because I need time to think.
Lee, you go first.
Hero. Fernando Alonso again.
Villain.
No, hero.
Hero, Fernando
Yeah,
Alonso.
and he's gonna, because the car might make it to the end and he might score a point.
Ooh, that's bold.
That's almost a bold
That's
prediction.
two bold predictions.
Yeah, that it might make it to the end.
Villain. Just want to boil a bit of piss, don't I? So Kevin Magnussen,
Kevin Magnussen.
for no apparent reason.
Because of
Because he's Scandinavian.
Yeah.
because K-Mag. And your top three?
Lewis. No. Vettel. Lewis. Verstappen.
Verstappen third. Interesting. Quite interesting. I'll go with
No, actually, no. Sorry, Kimi.
Kimi third.
Yeah, Kimi third.
Yeah, I'm going to go slight deviation on your top three.
And the Scandinavian bashing goes on. Hi, Daniel.
My top three is going to be Lewis, Sebastian, Kimi. Nothing wrong with Valtteri Bottas. I've just defended him, but I just think Ferrari will probably have the edge in Bahrain. Just thinking of the track layout. I think Mercedes were a bit lucky in China with the virtual safety car and the safety car. If there was no safety car, Mercedes may well have lost that completely.
Yeah.
So
It'll be interesting to see what Hamilton's like with some more pressure on him as well, because there was pressure on him in Australia, and you could argue he cracked a little bit. You know, it's because his head dropped in Australia.
Yeah, it did.
So, yeah, it'd be interesting.
Yeah, in Bahrain's hero.
Probably Magnussen's fault.
Well, my villain, I'm going to say that my villain is Eric Boulier. I think he's going to explode.
Really?
Yeah, media-wise. He's going to go mental. He's going to be...
Oh, right, no. Pop.
No, I don't think he's going to eat all the pastries and physically explode. I just think... I don't think he's going to physically explode. Sorry. But, yeah, I think Eric Boulier, Boulier or someone at McLaren is just going to lose it in a big way. Not quite Toto punch in the desk way, but perhaps saying a few choice words in front of. It could be a driver. It could be one of the press people. Mainly Eric Boulier.
Eric Boulier, for him to explode and say something in front of the press would mean him actually standing in front of the press and having something to say, apart from 10 minutes of nothing.
My hero of the weekend, I'm going to go for the other team manager, Maurizio Arrivabene. I think he is going to. I think we're going to see him, much like in Australia when he went to Sebastian and did the shaking of the fist.
Yeah.
It was a wonderful Ferrari victory. Something similar along those lines. He'll be very, very pleased with their performance. And he'll show himself as a strong leader, I think.
Dan?
I'm going to go with bold predictions. Hamilton and Vettel are going to take each other off. Raikkonen will win.
Start the sparks, is it? Because we think they're going to come at some point.
Yeah, they will at some point. So I'm predicting it now.
Everything's very friendly at the moment, isn't it, between the two of them, Hamilton and Vettel?
Too many cuddles.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when you get them close on the track,
Yeah.
pushing each other a bit,
Less cuddling, more poking.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm
Bit of bashing going on.
I'm just watching the comments going mad after that.
After what?
After Dan's bold prediction, there's lots of ooh and no.
Well, lots of perhaps Vettel and and Hamilton taking.
It will happen at some time this season,
Yeah.
and I'm going for this weekend.
Yeah.
So Raikkonen to win, Bottas second, Ricciardo third.
And if that does happen, if Vettel and Hamilton do take each other off, which one's going to bitch the most?
Hamilton. Oh no, no! Yeah, I see. Hamilton's my first thing.
That's instinctive, isn't it?
Magnussen.
Yes, Kevin Magnussen. Why not?
Because he looks like a blonde frog. He does look like a frog.
Yeah.
A blonde frog. It doesn't help that he's if you notice,
No, not at all.
hair game.
Weak hair game.
Talking Formula 1 hair game.
You do realise we all have to up our hair game now we're on YouTube.
No, but he's Draco Malfoy.
How?
Everybody who's watched Harry Potter, Draco Malfoy, he's done that with his hair. Kevin Magnussen, he looks like
Villain.
Villain. Go on, Paul.
Right, okay, hero. I'm going with your Alonso one because he will wring everything possible out of that car.
Yeah.
Including all of the oil.
Including all of the oil, and
And a couple of hundreds next.
he will wring the oil out that much that it'll crystallise, turn into diamonds, and then he'll be able to buy himself out of his contract.
He's going to go to Japan and he's going to be like a farmer going rabbiting, isn't he? He's just going to walk along with that.
Well, here's a question for you. When the McLaren breaks down this weekend,
On lap 18.
is it going to be the engine, or is it going to be a non-engine thing like drive shaft or fuel pump?
Another breakdown might be a Alonso.
Fernando's just parked at the side of the circuit, just steering through. Comes on team radio, Alonso with a little crackly bit behind it. Fernando, are you okay? Do you need to get out of the car?
That's a theme tune for Dynasty.
He wouldn't be
It's
humming-
close.
He wouldn't be humming to himself. He'd go,
Look, mummy, I'm winning.
I need a villain as well, don't I? Palmer.
What? Why?
He's been lucky lately. He hasn't screwed up.
Yeah, he hasn't been lucky. He's been the most unlucky person in the world.
I know, but he
What
hasn't screwed up anybody else's race apart from his own.
Oh, right,
Yeah, he's
okay.
been super unlucky.
Yeah. I reckon it's going to be double bad luck for him this week, and somebody else will be the recipient of a completely freak occurrence with his car. Like you forget.
Lance Stroll.
Yeah. Yeah, Stroll will be getting some space, clear, in 8th place, and then Palmer will just come up a straight like a rocket, forget to turn, and just sideswipe him out.
I had brake failure.
Yeah.
In that my foot forgot to hit the brakes.
Yeah, and he'll just use Stroll as a physical passing brake.
Possibly.
Top 3, Seb, Lewis, and I'm going to go Kimi for 3rd.
Yeah.
I think that's about it for that preview.
I think so.
So
Have we got any particular comments that have been on the YouTube video that need reading out? Or can we avoid the ones that don't need reading out?
No, I want them.
Yeah, James Totti, I've always thought Boulier had something of the Mr. Creosote about him. I'm just scrolling back through the last few. Somebody suggested a drinking game for during the live podcast. 2 shots every time Jensen's mentioned.
Oh.
Does that include screaming at the cat?
I'm going to drive home, people. This
Yes.
is not fair.
No, I think that's for viewers.
Oh,
Right,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Jensen.
Mushroom.
Button.
Button mushroom.
Very good.
See, I have all the puns. Thank you, Jana. Yeah, cheers for all the comments. They're all online. We don't censor any of them. Yet. We might have to start.
They of course do have to comply with YouTube's rules.
Community guidelines.
Community guidelines,
Yeah.
They're not rules, they're just guidelines.
But
which you have to stay within,
It's okay.
like a set of rules.
Apparently, this time next month we'll be the only people on YouTube. We'll have it to ourselves by all accounts.
I think we scared the internet away.
We've finally joined it as a mass exodus of content creators.
Oh, good, we'll take all their advertising. That'll do. I think that's probably about it for this week's F1 show.
I think so. Really sorry to everybody who was watching on YouTube through the weird, awkward silences when we were listening to Sean. You'll manage to get that on the podcast. It should be available tomorrow?
Yeah, it'll be available tomorrow. I'll be putting that up in all the usual places.
Or if you're listening to this on the
morning.
podcast, you don't need to listen to this bit.
Yeah, because you've already heard Sean.
Yeah, you wouldn't have had the weird silence.
Yeah, exactly.
We can do a special mix if you want.
No, we can't.
If we keep talking like this, she's going to have to explain to me what paradox means again.
Exactly.
It's that powder you put in your bath when you're feeling a bit stiff after you've been working all day and it
Right.
relaxes you.
No, that's Pars Radox.
It's not the stuff that smells like the sea.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, that's the sea.
Oh, fuck it! Why is the world so confusing?
Ball.
Because
How-
world.
How can people get in contact with us?
How can people get in contact with us? We have the Facebook page, we have Twitter at 3legs4wheels,
I'm at it total shunt.
I'm at Flood21.
I'm at Danbert.
and I'm at Pablo100. You can also get an extra podcast every week by subscribing to Patreon. So if you go to patreon.com and search for 3legs4wheels, we've got that there. Lots of rewards. We have special versions of, which camera am I looking at? That one. These t-shirts,
Yeah.
Yes.
personalised for the pay drivers. We'll be putting the t-shirts on sale on the website very soon.
Yeah.
People who also sign up for extra rewards for Patreon, please be patient. Think that they are coming. It's not our fault, but they
I'm
are
trying-
on the way.
We're now at the stage where we've got the t-shirts,
Little bit,
we've
but
got the
not
badges, we've got the postcards, we've got the mailbags. I just need to find out how I can get them all posted off easily and where to and what
And
paperwork
legally.
and what paperwork we need to fill in because it's customs.
If you give me that camera, I can give us a professional outro on the sly. On the sly.
You get that photo,
Yeah,
you on
get-
that camera.
Give me that. Put it on that on the YouTube, and I can give us a professional outro.
What tonight?
Yeah.
Now.
Live, yeah.
You want to do it live? Right. You can also email us at 3legs4wheels@gmail.com. So the amateur outro from me and
The rest of us.
the rest of us.
is
Bye.
thanks, YouTubers. You've been wonderful. Thanks for sticking around. We'll see you sometime soon.
We'll be back next week. And Lee, apparently you're going to take over the camera. Let me just. Not. Oh.
GoPro outro, Lee.
I
that
like
was-
our new theme music.
That was great. Lee, you've now recorded lots of theme music.
Fine.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye. Yeah.